Professor Brain Brown's research shows that vulnerability fosters good emotional and mental health. It is a sign of courage. We become more resilient and brave when we embrace who we truly are and what we are feeling. The Vulnerable Scientist podcast is a space for scientists to tell their honest and authentic stories. I am your host, Sarah Nyakeri, who happens to be a scientist, informal science communicator, and I help scientists create personal websites. If you want to support this show, go to www.patreon.com/thevulnerable-scientist. You can also follow this podcast on all social media platforms at TV Scientist Pod. Let's go to the good stuff, the highs that you've experienced throughout your journey.
Oh, yes. Thank you. It was getting me emotional there. Oh, the highs. There are so many. There are. There are more. There's more good than bad. Some of the highs. Oh gosh. There's a lot. I've had really great. I've really great supervisor, Professor Odindo. He's actually from Kenya, so shout out to Kenya. He's been phenomenal. So he's one of the one of the best part of my academic journeys. Also, I'm really grateful because I've had funding support in my various projects when I did my master's and now for my PhD. I've met so many people who I look up to and who inspire me. I've learned to be a better researcher. Oh, and I think one of my favorite things, one of my favorite highs is the fact that I get to be a teaching assistant. I love teaching, so working with the students, the second years especially. So that's been one of my favorite things that I do, like helping the new generation of future scientists and future researchers come in. So that's been a very important part for me. And people always ask me like, Anne, do you want to become a lecturer? And I'm like, I don't think so. But I love teaching, and I like my current Twitter bio says that what knowledge transfer is at the core of who I am, and that describes me in terms of what I do. So I love transferring knowledge. I love working with people and having that, like, I know things and then I get to transfer knowledge. And even with the podcast, it's knowledge transfer. I love that exchange and transferring knowledge. So I feel like if I ever just become like a lecturer, it would box me in how I want to transfer knowledge. I want to transfer it in a very different way. I love people. That is also another core of who I am. But I just, I just want to do it in a different way. If who knows, maybe I might become a lecturer. I'm not like crossing it out, but it's a different vision. And some of the other highs, I mean, just some of the awards and the recognition that have come from my journey, be it through the podcast or just from my institution, particularly in 2020. That's when I realized, I was like, oh my goodness, okay, I'm actually quite special. And I say this in a very humble way, but yeah, those are some of the highs that just makes all of this stuff worth it. Like, it's like, not saying that I do it for recognition and awards, but just the silver lining that, even though I have labored, like, I think rather, let me say that when they see the rewards, it's because I've labored. It was not by accident. I've gone through the things to get there. So those things, those awards or those recognitions, the highs, yeah, they do not happen by accident. So those, and I'm really grateful for them. Yeah.
You want to speak more about funding, like seeking for funding for young scientists?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, for me, I will say that. How do I say it in a? seeking funding, I mean, that's probably one of the major reasons why most of us do
Mm.
postgraduates, is the fact that we get funding, you know. Um, but it's difficult. I recognize that it's really difficult. I was fortunate enough in the sense that um, my work sort of spoke for me in terms of opportunities. So I was referred to some of the funding opportunities that I got, even for my PhD as well. Although that one though, I had to really, hey, that one was cut and go, but it worked out. It was an internal funding for the project that I'm at my university, but it 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 was, yeah, it was a bit cut and go there because, yeah, but it worked out because I really had to push and really had to motivate why I was the candidate for it. But um I'm not sure, I've never really had to go through all the hoops that other people might have had to get their funding. I'm not saying that it came easy, but um it was it was more of, okay, maybe let me say this. My funding came through networks. So, like, the fact that I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew of an opportunity, and they applied. And maybe this is where I'm also going to get into, in the sense that networking is so important, because for various opportunities, for me it was funding, even for my podcasting. I'm a person who believes in network. Your network is your net worth. I firmly believe in that saying. So it's the fact that I always put myself out there. I always put myself in various different ways so that people know me, make myself visible, ask questions, send emails. So that's how the funding opportunities found me. Of course, like I said, that my work spoke to that, my various different types of work, but it was through networking. And networking is another thing that, if you can, okay, I think the two things that I can say so far, I will probably speak a lot on this podcast, but some of the takeaways, the second one, the first one is therapy, support. The second one, I'll just say networking. Network, put yourself out there, network. Yeah, those are two things. If you can say, if you can take anything away from this podcast so far, is, yeah, support, therapy, a group, whatever, and also networking. Networking is just so important because it helps you in so many different ways.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. Wow. Networking, and I'm sure the podcasting scene for you has also helped you to network more, right?
Oh, for sure. I think that's where my networking peaked. It peaked because, I mean, my networking before my podcast was very local, just the people who I knew locally. But now it's international. It's people. It's like, it's gotten me into rooms that I never thought I could get into rooms. It's I thought of you. Would you like? There's this opportunity, and I'm like, what? You know. So it's all because of networking. Rooms, opportunity, just email, like, just, yeah, networking. Oh my goodness. Yeah, networking. Cannot say it enough.
Okay.